In motions of kind of flexion, which is arms coming forward, I need to have the shoulders back. And if you look at any of the videos of really good pressers, the shoulders are really wound up. Let me make the caveat that if I'm cleaning and jerking, I might have to receive here, but in order to jerk, I'm going to get up, and then in order to get back, I'm going to be able to press out. I cannot generate much pressing force in this position. And I certainly can't bench press in this position. When we bench press or we do any significant pressing, I have kind of those shoulders pinned back. Right? And so what I need is that shoulder to be living in the back of the socket. And a lot of the things that we do as athletes tend to have me kind of have this, engender this anterior shoulder position. I kind of embody a forward shoulder because the capsule, which is the support structure of the joint, ends up just getting a little bit tight, and I'm just this guy all the time, right? And it may be that some muscles are holding me in that position, but sometimes the shoulder gets tight. And so one of the things we want to see is, can you pull your shoulders to the back of the socket? Right? And I should still not be able to get my hands under. And so as soon as you understood the cue, that's much better. I really can't slide my hands further up, but I can get them further back. And I'd like to be here. When I have an athlete, come sit up you guys for me, and face me if you would. When I have an athlete who comes in who's like, man, I'm having shoulder pain, right? And they're just doing this stretch all the time. This is this classic, like, I don't know, shoulder swimmer stretch. What am I really doing here? I'm impinging the crap out of myself and what? Making the shoulder forward position worse. What do I mean to do is to push the shoulder to the back of the socket and try to stretch it from there. So what I really want to do is load the back of the socket here, and then anything that pulls across, I'm going to feel more of a stretch in the socket where it belongs. Does that make sense? So one of the self-fixes that isn't beyond anything is if this is one of your painful positions, ouch! Then one of the things I can do is just get my shoulder on the back. So let's go ahead and lay you guys down on the ground, on your back. And getting the shoulder to rest posteriorly in the socket gives me options. And one of the options is that I restore the mechanics and the rotational kinematics of the joint. And so instead of actually having one axis of rotation where the shoulder is just rotating about a single plane axis, now I have dual plane axes because that shoulder is back and it actually drops out of position and I don't impinge. Does that make sense? If I'm here, the whole thing spins through on that one axis. And what I want to do is be able to get the shoulder to come back and have some movement options. So if I bring the shoulder that is in question up, just right across, you can see how proud that shoulder is off the ground. I take the other hand and I'm going to put it through here, and you're going to push that elbow straight into the ground through the line of force of your arm. So you're going to just try to push that elbow through the humerus into the back of the socket. Can you feel that? Do you feel a stretch back there? Yeah, just oscillate in and out. Can you feel that little stretch in the back of the socket? That's all you need, just a little tiny bit. Just hit that resistance and come out. Hit that resistance and come out. Just trying to push that thing back. And if it turns out that this is a position, being into, move your hand this way a little bit. You'll bring your hand up. Now try that position. Does that feel any different?
No, does your shoulder have to sit on the ground?
Well, your shoulder should be able to get on the ground. Your shoulder may not be able to be on the ground, right? And what we're seeing is if I have a real restriction in the capsule, I may not be able to get that shoulder far in the back. So
the oscillating is still beneficial.
Oscillating is still beneficial. It's still mobilizing in this position of restriction. In this case, this is one of those stretches we do like when we mobilize the hip, but we're going to try to get that shoulder to the back of the socket. Boom, that's where the shoulder should be. Can you see any difference between our shoulders on the ground? Right? Put your arm straight up. Right? There's a little difference there. And so when I press, that's my shoulder, that's the ground. That's why that doesn't go anywhere. Boom, right? And what we want to do is try to mobilize that shoulder into the back of the socket. Does that make sense? Can you guys see that? If I was a physio and doing something, I would show you, right, that this is the stretch we're trying to get. Can you feel that? Mm-hmm. But we're just trying to get you to just reset that shoulder into the back of the socket a little bit. It's a real quick fix. Sometimes if I get a little anterior, because I've been doing a lot of push-ups, a lot of ring dips, snatching, whatever, my shoulder ends up forward because it just got tight, and then just resetting that position makes a big difference. Can you feel that?
I can't get that.
You're doing fine. You just keep mobilizing back. So here's an athlete who says, hey, I can't feel that. What happens if I just take a sledgehammer to his shoulder. Wouldn't that work? No, I'm just kidding. Arm straight. Okay? And what I want you to do is see if you can let that shoulder just sag to the back. Just sag there for me. You got it? 2 minutes on the clock, please. Okay. So now all we're doing is getting some passive drag into the back of the socket. Let's get you tried in this too. Come on. Let's grab one for you. Stay there. No, allow me. Yeah, just trying to get that shoulder in the back of the socket where it belongs. You got? You cool? There's a lot of movement therapies like Egoscue, etc., that try to get you to passively think about dropping the shoulder, dropping the hip back. What we're trying to do is just subtly encourage it. This is easy. This is recovery. Can you feel that thing start to sag a little bit? Just start shaky. It just starts to creep into the back. Time under tension. 1 minute to go. Does that hurt your shoulder? It doesn't hurt my shoulder. Hey. Nah, it doesn't matter. Rotation. Try it. Try moving your hand out a little bit. Better, same, worse. Most of that's happening at the forearm. I just need the pressure in. My real deal is to try to get that arm back. And you can see you're used to stabilizing and holding that shoulder into that position. So when you get that arm there, you're shaking a little bit. That's okay. It's going to fatigue. You doing okay there? You feel it creep?
Yes.
Is that a tighter position?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. But oh, we're starting to get there's some one finger of contact, not multiple. So you feeling okay there?
How's it on the ground?
Off the ground, right? But this is one of those things that allows me to get in there. Now, what happens if I was like a level 5 ninja? You know, and a ninja assassin. I was the one ninja who dropped out of ninja school and wiped out. Up 2 minutes. Come on down. And dropped out of ninja school, and I was taking on all the other ninjas. I might have some secret ninja techniques. Take a look at this. Come on your back. We can combine some of this business, right? What happens if I put the ball up underneath here somewhere? Right? Oh no! Right? This would be some level 5 ninja stuff, right? You got it? Go ahead and can you let that thing drop to the back? How's that feel? Any painful spots there? This is CrossFit.com. You can't cry. No one cries.
Crying for pussies.
Oh.
Crying for pussies, not just. Yes.
You know, Dave Castro's tears can cure cancer. Too bad he never cries. Level 5 ninja. So now just, hey, maybe I've just messing around with the ball, right? Give me that. Is that painful? No, absolutely. So maybe, all she's doing is doing some informed freestyling, some combined movements there. So what if you just push your hand here and you got a little extra stretch in the capsule there? Can you feel that? Yeah, there you go. Right? Is that a simple self-fix? Nice. When you see that shoulder living in the front of the socket, things tend to get hot and short. Getting that shoulder back in the socket seems to matter a lot. So when we're trying to, and this makes sense, when we're trying to get up overhead, we try to mobilize to the back. And when we need to get this way, an extension, we mobilize to the front. Can you guys see that? That's what we were stretching. You with me? Cool? All right. Come stand up for me real quick. Let's see if we make a difference.
Yes.
Does that feel any different? Come stand up. So here's the test. Pull your shoulders back and tell me if you can get one further back than the other one. All right. I dream of Jeannie. I dream of good shoulders. Good. And can you see a difference there? Absolutely. It's almost a centimeter further back, which gives her more mechanical advantage, which gives her more movement options.